WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Exactly a week ago tonight is when county leaders and engineers in Oktibbeha County had growing concerns over the Oktibbeha County Lake Dam. Since then, pumps have been brought in to help lower those water levels.
Yeah, the Board of Supervisors is meeting tonight, and they're expected to give an update on the dam. Our Quentin Smith is at the meeting and joins us now live with more. Quentin?
Yeah, Joey, that meeting is going on right now as we speak, and the supervisors actually just finished up speaking about the dam just moments ago. The main thing they talked about was draining the lake. County leaders say the lake has gone down 4 feet since last week, but they needed to go down another 4 feet before they can even begin draining the lake. Fire Coordinator Kurt Rosenhan gave a presentation. He said the pumps at the lake appear to be working, and they're going to keep the pumps out there, and the roads will remain closed for right now. AMA Director Kristen Campanella says the county has gone down from a warning to a watch, but I do want to point out we are expected to receive rainfall on Thursday, and county leaders say that's something they're going to keep a close eye on for right now. But we'll have much more from this meeting and what supervisors plan to do moving forward coming up later on tonight on WCBI News at 9 and 10. But for now, reporting live in Oktibbeha County, Quentin Smith, back to you in the studio.
2 inmates leaves 2 dead in a unit at Parchman last night. One of those victims has been identified as 35-year-old Timothy Hudspeth. Hudspeth was serving a 10-year sentence from Tate County for possession of a firearm by a felon. The second victim's identification is pending notification of next of kin. The cause of death will be released once autopsies are completed. The Department of Corrections says this fight is not related to the recent killings within the prison system. 5 inmates so far have died at Parchman since the beginning of the year. 2 deaths were gang-related. The third was the result of a fight among cellmates. The fourth was from natural causes. The 5th death happened during the weekend when officers found Gabriel Carmen hanging on Saturday. Well, surveillance video is a huge help for law enforcement to solve crimes. Over the years, technology has improved security footage, which of course helps police.
Yeah, WCBI's Bobby Martinez talks to Louisville Police Chief Sean Holderness, who says security footage has helped them find wanted suspects faster. Bobby?
Guys, Louisville Police Chief Sean Holderness says when he began his law enforcement career 25 years ago, investigating an incident was very difficult because security footage wasn't as advanced as it is today. Fast forward to now, cameras are pretty much everywhere, something he says helps law enforcement solve some of the biggest crimes.
We want all the video we can get.
Solving a crime can take hours, days, or even years. Louisville Police Chief Sean Holderness says security footage plays a major part in solving a crime. It can pinpoint exactly what happened and the exact person that committed the crime.
They might not be breaking in your store, or they might not be robbing your business, but videos from other stores or businesses or homes will help us corroborate whether or not that person drove by to go to the place they actually robbed.
In one of the latest investigations, Louisville police are trying to find the people that robbed a Dollar General. At first, officers were able to get pictures. Later, they found surveillance video of the holdup. Now, Holderness believes he's closer to finding the 3 accused robbers.
Because of where the store is and the quickness that they went in and robbed the store and a customer, you know, even though our officers showed up less 3 minutes after the call went out, but they were able to leave, but then taking those pictures and downloading that video helps tremendously.
Holderness sees how video has changed how officers do their job in his 25 years of law enforcement. It can protect the public and those who wear a badge.
Because we want to be as transparent with the public, and we want them to if there's a question that comes up about an arrest or an accusation or whatever, we want to be able to, you know, articulate, here it is. Yeah. I mean, you can't get any better than video. If a complaint or an accusation was made against an officer, basically it was just your word against theirs, and we don't want that.
Chief Holderness says video is great to help convict a criminal, but law enforcement still needs help from the public. So he encourages anyone to come forward with any information about the robbery at Dollar General. Guys, back to you.
County leaders receive an update on the Crawford Gym renovation. Plans have been announced. Now the dirty work is set to begin to restore the community landmark. Today, those plans were discussed with residents in southern Lowndes County. There will be new floors, a new roof, and a new exterior. The restrooms and bleachers will also be renovated. Supervisor Jeff Smith says this project is for everyone that lives in the area.
It's going to be just like a total new building. It's going to provide a multi-purpose. Not only will it be for athletics, but it'll also be for educational and community projects such as I stated before, meetings, workshops, things that the community has a need to be able to host in a centralized location. This gives them those options that otherwise they may not have.
The $350,000 project is expected to be complete in May. A heads up for some drivers in Lowndes County. Cross-drain replacement will close Beersheba Road tomorrow. It'll be closed from 8:30 until 2. No through traffic will be allowed while the replacement is happening. If you need more information, you can call the Lowndes County Road Department.
More clouds tomorrow. On your Wednesday, we will be staying dry, perhaps a little bit warmer than today, mid to upper 40s, and some spots maybe as warm as 47. But right now, it's still quite chilly out there, cooling down into the mid to low 30s. I don't think the Air Force Base is updated yet, but fortunately for us tonight, yes, it's chilly, but the wind is relaxing here, so the wind chill not really as bad as what it was earlier today. So we are in the 30s now. We'll continue into the 20s, and we may bottom out in the lower 20s tonight. We are watching out for some rain as we get into your Thursday. We'll talk about that coming up.
Eat your vegetables. You probably remember your mother insisting on a clean plate, but what goes into a balanced meal is often up for debate. School lunch is arguably one of the most important moments of the day. Most trays will have a meat, a grain, a fruit, and a vegetable, but some of these food groups could disappear from your child's plate in the coming months. That's thanks to proposed rollbacks from the Trump administration. Right now, the USDA enforces the Obama-era My Plate guidelines throughout school lunchrooms across the country, which puts a large emphasis on fruits and vegetables.
They can pick all 5 items, or they can pick, they have to at least have 3, one of those 3 being a fruit or a vegetable. Even if it's just 1 or 2 kids that we get to try something new and they like it, you know, I would hope that that's something that we could accomplish.
Now, the proposed rules from the Trump administration will be published on January 23rd and will be subject to a public comments period for 60 days before being finalized. Mississippi Blood Services is experiencing a severe shortage and is now asking for some help.
Our Stephanie Poole joins us live in the studio with more on what medical facilities are doing to overcome the crisis. Stephanie?
Yes, according to the American Red Cross, every 2 seconds a person in the U.S. needs blood. While more populated areas aren't generally impacted by the growing demand for blood, small towns are experiencing a shortage.
They don't hesitate to keep us supplied when it comes to patient care.
Sandy Kilburn is the blood bank supervisor at Baptist Golden Triangle. She says during the winter, more and more medical centers are facing the challenge of finding blood donors.
While the crisis is waning, we still need donations because the rural areas will be more impacted by problems with weather, any challenges of, accidents, whatever, because of where they're situated.
Oftentimes, small-town medical centers run extremely low in all blood types. Kilburn says the biggest reason for the low supply can be due to traveling.
The biggest impact is on the distance it takes to get the blood to them and the time that takes. And if they've got their full stock, if they've got their inventory up to date, then that's not such a problem. Then they've got what they need. So we really do need to keep up donations in the winter, whether it's been announced as a crisis or not. They will call and ask us, why do you need so much? And we'll tell them we have an emergency or we have a surgery and we're going to need this blood.
Although Baptist Golden Triangle isn't experiencing a shortage at their facility, they are still relying on the public's help.
Remember, if you're a regular donor, just please don't hesitate to keep your appointments, go in, call, be able to donate on your regular every 8-week schedule.
Baptist Golden Triangle is hosting a blood donation drive on January 31st. It will be in the Outpatients Conference Center from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Coming up, a ministry is helping bring positive change to Amory, one person at a time.
We learn more about Change Amory when we come back.
Watching WCBI News at 6 with Andrea Self and Joey Barnes.
Welcome back, everyone. A Monroe County ministry is making an impact in the community.
Our Allie Martin tells us about Change Amory and how the organization faced its own struggle until the oldest community foundation in the state stepped in.
Whenever she can, Raven Sanders visits the offices of Change Amory.
Hey, how are you doing? So good to see you again.
The ministry opened its doors in 2014 as a way to help clients of the Amory Food Pantry with other necessities such as rent and utilities. 2 years ago, Sanders moved to Amory. She was trying to improve her circumstances, working toward an associate's degree, and Change Amory was there to meet some needs.
You know, I've always tried to do things on my own, but when I met these ladies, they were like super women. They helped me from the spiritual side, as far as encouragement for myself.
When Change Amory started, it was part of the Gilmore Foundation, but that organization closed its doors, and the small ministry with no paid staff needed help getting its nonprofit status. So Sister Mary Fellerhoff contacted the Create Foundation for help and advice.
After less than an hour of meeting, they said, well, you could be a special project. We said, oh, what does that mean? Well, they told us, and they become our money manager, and the agreement is that you do pursue your own 501c3. So that was the agreement. We wouldn't have been able to survive without the help of Create.
Change Amory now has its own 501c3 tax-exempt status. Sister Fellerhoff says the ministry learned a lot from its partnership with Create, and now is even better prepared to help those who need a hand up. In Amory, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
And Change Amory holds interviews once a week with people who may need assistance.
All right, well, Keith, it may not have been warmer, but it felt a little warmer today.
The sun always helps.
A little bit.
Yeah. Blue sky, but it was chilly this morning, still chilly right now.
But there's an icy fountain behind you.
Icy fountain. We often see this here when it gets well below freezing, and we still have the water bubbling around. Angela spotted that in Florence, Alabama today, and Craig in Starkville picking up on that at MSU. You can see some of the ice there. We'll be moderating temperatures here later this week. Rain chances, too, coming back. We'll talk about it next.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
It's been wet over the last 30 days. We feel like we've been living in a swamp, right? Well, this is just a quick little analysis across the region. Anywhere from about 3 to 10 inches of rain or more. The bullseye centered right over our area in the northern Alabama, and this obviously has caused a lot of problems. We're looking at anywhere from about 150% to 300% of normal rainfall over just the last 30 days, hence the flooding issues. Now, we have no rain in the forecast for tomorrow. We have a pretty good chance for rain on Thursday and Friday morning. Now, this next system won't be a prolific rainfall producer relative to where we've been. However, we still are anticipating anywhere between about 1/2 of an inch to maybe 1 1/4 inches of rainfall here. So any rain is not really welcome at this point, but at least the flooding has subsided from the last event here. So there's the moisture across the high plains. Out ahead of it, though, wispy high cirrus clouds drifting on our way. Not so much today. Another gorgeous day. This is our Louisville, Mississippi sky cam. The setting sun this afternoon, but we'll see more of those more of those higher clouds drift on in later this evening, and we will become overcast tomorrow. Temperatures currently in the lower 30s across our region at 618, down into the mid to low 20s. Lighter wind. The wind chill not nearly as bad as what we had last night and this morning, and those clouds will filter on in as we go throughout the course of the day. Here's our planner for Wednesday, 22 or so in the morning. If those clouds come in early, it may not be as cold initially, but highs should be somewhere in the mid to upper 40s across our neck of the woods. We're going to keep the forecast dry, but obviously a lot more cloud cover in the region as that next system comes our way, a shot at some lower 50s down closer to the coast. So here's our future forecast. You can see clouds build back into the region tomorrow. The rain showers back to our west, and I think as we get into our Thursday morning and Thursday afternoon, There's the rain around here. Any chance of thunder will be down to the coast. For us, just some rain. That system moves out of here, and it looks like Friday we may actually squeeze out some decent weather with temperatures getting back into the 50s. So at this point, things are looking a little bit better. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. Clouds increasing tomorrow. We are in the 40s. Thursday, a good chance of rain. Isolated morning showers Friday, 54. So a little bit warmer. And your weekend and early next week, guys, look at that. Mid-50s for the weekend and lower 60s early next week. So the natives are getting restless here with the cold weather, even though it should be cold.
Warming, though.
We'll moderate things here.
All right.
No more frozen fountains as we get into next week.
Good.
A lot of sun there. On
A lot of sun, more sun than anything else.
All right. Coming up, Hail State Hoops drops a heartbreaker to South Carolina, but we'll have to move past the defeat quickly. More from head coach Vic Schaefer next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Even in defeat, there are plenty of positives to take away from Mississippi State's 2-point loss to the #1 team in the country last night. The youngest players on the floor for Mississippi State scored 40 of the 79 points. The program's highest-rated recruiting class putting on a show on the national stage. It was the first true road test for the young group. Freshman Rakia Jackson says the team was continuing to trust in the system to come back from being down 12 early in the ballgame.
Just being poised and staying within our team. We knew that, they're a very good team and it was a big crowd, but that's nothing we never played in front of before because, we have a lot of fans here also. So just playing our game and not getting rattled.
If we get beat, again this year, it won't be because the moment was too big for us. We proved last night the moment ain't too big. There's not going to be a bigger game this year unless we're playing in the last one. So it won't be because the moment's too big. We might not play well. We might not have do other things, but it won't be because we were all tied up and we couldn't function because we were nervous. I think our kids handled that extremely well last night, and I'm really, encouraged by that. I think I learned something about my team last night.
Hail State Hoops will have a chance to get back in the win column and start a new win streak on Thursday on the road at Vanderbilt. Ole Miss men's basketball back in action tonight, 8 p.m. tip against Tennessee. Rebels still in search of that first SEC win. Mississippi State men will look to make it 3 straight wins and 3 straight home games tomorrow inside the hump against Arkansas at 6 p.m. And Ole Miss women's basketball back in action Thursday as well on the road against Auburn. The Oregon Ducks make it official, the hiring of former Mississippi State head coach Joe Moorhead. Moorhead will be the offensive coordinator for the Ducks in 2020. Moorhead compiled a 14-12 record in 2 seasons as the head coach in Starkville. Mike Leach's staff at Mississippi State almost complete. The new Bulldogs head coach missing 2 more to finish off his first staff with the Bulldogs. Almost the entire staff coming from Washington State to join Leach in the SEC. Defensive line coach Jeffrey Phelps and defensive backs coach Marcel McBath reportedly joining officially yesterday. Tony Hughes, one of the only Bulldog coaches to be retained from Joe Moorhead's staff. His job title remains to be officially announced. State with 2 more spots to fill, most notably the defensive coordinator position. Leach nor Mississippi State has made the official announcements on the staff, but thanks to updated Twitter bios, the staff is coming together one by one. Awful news out of Birmingham today as former Mississippi State wide receiver De'Runnya Wilson has died. Wilson was found shot in a home in Birmingham, Alabama, and Birmingham police is investigating it as a homicide. Wilson was tied for the 2nd most career touchdown receptions in Mississippi State football history and finished top 10 in almost every major category as a receiver for the Bulldogs. The wide receiver nicknamed Bear was 25 years old. WCBI News will be back after the break.
All right, coming up this weekend, WCBI's 27th annual Bridal Showcase and Fashion Show. Here's a look at one of our vendors from last year's show. The doors will open at 10 o'clock Saturday morning with the fashion show starting at 12:15. The tickets are $15 and you can get them at the door. Now, if you're getting ready to start planning your big day, Tom Ebel is glad this is all behind him. This show is a good place to start knocking some things off your wedding to-do list. You can find more information on our website, WCBI.com, and our Allie Martin will be joining me on stage as an MC for the fashion show. We're excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always a fun
And the weather
time.
will be just fine
Yeah,
for
and
it.
station management is happy that we won't have any weather catastrophes coming in
That's
Saturday.
right.
So there are no excuses not to get out there Saturday. The weekend's looking pretty good. There will be some rain around Thursday and Thursday night, but nothing we can't handle.
Good.
All right.
All righty.
Well, thank you so much, Keith, and thank you for joining us, everybody. Have a good night.